have your attention, please? If you have not done so at this time, please silence all cell phones and pagers. And please sign in. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. This meeting of the Louisiana Tax Commission is hereby called to order. This meeting is being held at the offices of the Louisiana Tax Commission at 1051 North 3rd Street, Suite 225, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The date is Wednesday, February 12th, 2020, and the time is 10:01 a.m. Please call the roll.
Chairman Shahardi.
Here.
Commissioner Waxback.
Here.
Commissioner West.
Here.
Commissioner Burcher. Commissioner Wood.
Here.
4 present and a quorum.
Thank you. There being no old business to take up at this time, I will move on to accept a motion for the approval of the January 29th, 2020 emergency rule hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Burcher is absent. Commissioner Waxback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardi.
Yes. I'll accept the motion for the approval of the January 29th, 2020 open meeting and appeal hearing.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Burcher is absent. Commissioner Waxback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardi.
Yes. I'll now accept the motion for the approval of the February 5th, 2020 minutes, the open meeting and appeal hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Burcher is absent. Commissioner Waxback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardi.
Yes. We'll now consider change orders.
Good morning, Commissioners. Meridian Ponte on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 1,141 change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve 1,110, place 24 in pending status, and deny 7 in CADO for applying the homestead exemption on the LLC. Staff requests approval of these change orders.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve 1,110 of the change orders, place 24 on pending status, and deny 7 for the reasons given according to staff recommendations.
Second.
Commissioner Burcher is absent. Commissioner Waxback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardi.
Yes. We'll now consider prior pending change orders.
Meridian Ponte on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 28 prior pending change orders. Staff has reviewed those change orders and requests to approve 24, keep 2 in pending status, and deny 2 per the assessor's request, 1 in Jefferson Davis, and 1 in Richland Parish. Staff requests approval of these prior pending change orders.
Have a motion?
Yeah, my motion with respect to the prior pending change orders is to approve 24, place 2 back in pending status, and deny 2 for reasons stated by staff.
Second.
Commissioner Burcher is absent. Commissioner Waxback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardi.
Yes. We'll move on to tax sale cancellations. At this time, I'll make a motion that we rescind the October 18, 2018 St. Tammany Parish tax sale cancellation of a tax sale in the name of Felder Fitzmars to Dragonfly Holdings, Inc.
Second.
Commissioner Burcher is absent. Commissioner Waxback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Shahardi.
Yes. We'll now consider tax sale cancellations.
Tanisha Malvo on behalf of the Louisiana Tax Commission. Today we have a total of 8 tax sale cancellations. We have 3 in St. Tammany Parish for being duly assessed. One of those 3 is to correct the tax sale cancellation that was just approved for rescission. We have 3 in East Baton Rouge Parish. 2 because the rightful owner did not receive the tax bill, and 1 was a dual adjudication. And we have 2 in Washita Parish, both being duly assessed. Staff requests approval of these 8 tax sale cancellations.
Do we have a motion?
I would move that we approve the 8 tax sale cancellations as recommended by staff.
Second.
Commissioner Burcher is absent. Commissioner Waxback?
Yes.
Commissioner Wood?
Yes.
Commissioner West?
Yes.
And Chairman Shavard.
Yes. All right, we'll now move on to the appeal portion of our docket. I'm going to ask anyone who plans on testifying this morning at the table to please come forward to be sworn in as a witness.
Good morning. If you haven't done this before, we swear the witnesses in at the beginning of our appeal hearings. I think this is the only appeal hearing on the docket. My name is Drew Hoffman. I'm an attorney for the Tax Commission. I'm going to administer an oath. If you'll then affirm the oath by approaching one of the microphones, stating "I do" and stating your name for the record. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? One at a time, into the microphones, please.
I do. My name is Lawrence Yu.
Thank you.
I do. George Wallace, Louisiana Tax Commission. I do. Thomas Sanders, Orleans Parish Assessor's Office.
Perfect. Thank you. You can have a seat.
Please go ahead and have a seat. It is the Tax Commission's policy to accept all documents into the record that were timely pre-filed in accordance with the Commission's rules and regulations. This will be done at the conclusion of all hearings on today's docket. Accordingly, there is no need to formally offer or introduce the exhibits into the record during your appeal hearing. However, if you intend to object to the submission of any of the opposing parties' exhibits, you must notify the Commission at the start of your appeal hearing. As a reminder, this is an administrative hearing, and as such, rules of evidence are relaxed. The Commission is inclined to review and consider all evidence submitted and to accept such evidence into the record. On the appeal docket this morning is the appeal of Fidelity Investments Holdings, LLC versus the Orleans Parish Board of Review, docket number 19-22175-040. All right, everybody's at the table. Good morning. Mr. Yu, this is your appeal, so we'll ask you to go first.
I submitted all the documents that
Pull the microphone closer to you. You can pull the microphone closer.
I submitted all the documents stating that our income, and then we are having a very hard time, and the value is not what the city of New Orleans Parish is asking for, like 5.8 something, but still was too much. And then we were asking to lower the tax rate. That's our asking.
Yeah. Can you give us some basis or information specifically why is the assessment board of reviews market value is too much, it's too high?
First of all, our income on 2018 was, including chem charge, $628,152. And 2019 income was $621,583.30, which is, we are having very hard time. We are not having any positive cash flow. There's a lot of things going on, and 6 years ago, somebody steal the air conditioner, about 14 of them. We lost it. And then we got a roof problem. And the Sewage and Water Board in New Orleans, they overcharge us, so still owe them more than $36,000. And condition of building is getting bad, and the surrounding area has a high crime. And city of New Orleans or Orleans Parish does not do anything in that area, so we are having a hard time for the tenant. And also, we have only about less than 70% of the occupancy all the time. It's hard to print the occupancy because city of New Orleans is very strict. And then a couple of years ago, the pharmaceutical tried to move in, and then they want to invest $1 million to the shopping center. And city of New Orleans requires about some kind of a regulation, and it will take more than a year and a half to open the pharmaceutical store. So the city of New Orleans is not helping us, and then they are charging a lot of property taxes, and we are having very, very hard time.
What is your occupancy in 2018? What was your occupancy? 2018, 2019?
I'm a realtor and also manager of the Fidelity Investment Holdings.
No, what was the occupancy?
Oh, occupancy
rate?
was like, it was 68%.
2018 or 2019?
2018 and 2019.
Do you have any questions at this point? All right, let's hear from the assessor's office. Mr. Sandos.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thomas Sandoz, Williams Parish Assessor's Office. Property in question is located at 3600 Providence Boulevard, Los Angeles Retail Center.
Oh, mic a little bit closer.
Oh, sorry. Property was revalued as part of the 2020 revalue citywide. Total property value increased approximately 9% over 2019. The value of property in 2019 was $2.6 billion. And if we didn't have waste since 2013, had not been until 2020. The taxpayer filed a appeal for board review. There's a commentary in the board review spreadsheet. I don't know if you all have that for
No, we
you.
don't.
The hearing officer stated that the taxpayer provided income expense information that was contradictory. So that's the reason why they did not make the change.
What was the value in 2013 and in what year?
Total value,
Yeah.
$4.3 million.
4.3 million?
Yes, sir.
That's 2013.
Yes, sir.
So,
And it remains static until
this year,
until this year. Yes, sir.
current tax year.
So
can you-
it's, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
So it's the assessor's office's opinion that board review is correct in their ruling based on statements made by the hearing officer, which I understand you all don't have in front of you. So we would ask that the tax commission uphold board review's ruling.
Now, $5.8 million, how did the assessor's office arrive at that number?
Pro forma income approach.
And did you have access to the rent rolls and know the occupancy rate?
Not prior to the board review.
So your pro forma is just done on estimates of what you thought it might be?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And again, it's done on a mass scale. So, it's basically, the only two variables in the model would be rental rate and capitalization based on location.
The income tax return, was that, did you get that made a part of your file after the board review hearing?
It was after the board review, of course.
Because I don't think we've received any of that.
I haven't received it. The
So
only,
you
the
did
only
receive
thing, the only thing I saw was what the taxpayer provided in his board review appeal file online.
Yeah.
And the hearing officer reviewed that and indicated that there was some discrepancy between what was submitted by the taxpayer in terms of the income expenses.
Is Fidelity Investments LLC, is it just hold this one property in New Orleans?
We do have 2018, we did have two small vacant land, and there's one small 2,000 square feet commercial building in other place in New Orleans.
Would there be any reason why the tax return income and expense differs from what you provided, maybe the staff appraiser?
we send Schedule C, so it will show only on the property only. And then one that I disclosed it, our income, $628,000 was the only for the property. And if I may say some more, 2016, City of New Orleans Parish was increasing a lot of taxes. And 2016 and 17 and 18, we didn't know actually how to appear. And then I've been sending the letter to the tax department, and I never got response from them. But I didn't know there was a short period every year. I believe a few weeks of July that I have to appear. We didn't know that at the time, so we couldn't appear at the time.
Yeah, look, just because you have not appealed the value in the past doesn't preclude you
Right.
from being here today. So that's not a problem. Ms. Ennis, do you have with you the calculations of how the value was determined?
No, sir, I don't have that in front of me. Again, it's a model.
Do you know what rental rates were used by the assessor's office?
It was probably in the range of, I don't know, $13, $15 a square foot. That's, I mean, I can't substantiate that in the documentation.
So just
off the top of my head.
just a guess?
Yeah.
Do you have any idea about the occupancy rate?
Yeah, yes, sir. The model that we built, again, the only two variables are rent per square foot and capitalization rate based on the location of the property.
Do you know what the cap rate was?
Probably 9.5. So across the board, we use 7% vacancy and 50% off extension shares.
But again, these numbers are estimates that you're giving us
Yes,
today?
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
You said that was, y'all estimated 7% vacancy?
Yes, ma'am, across the board. That's based on data that we called from, various data sources, NLS, CBD.
It's an average, it's not per
Yes, ma'am.
property, so properties do
And
vary.
again, it's as you all well know, it's done in the past.
Knowing the area, would you think the 68% occupancy as you listed would be reasonable?
Well, that's the stated occupancy. My only question would be is that if we're using actual rents of $621,000 over 2018 to 2019, there's no need to compute vacancy. That makes sense.
Sure.
We had a tenant panel, which is a housing authority of New Orleans. They used to be our tenant. They used about 30,000 square feet, and then they purchased another property at the crossover the river. We at the Azure area, and after they moved out, they were breaking the lease, and then after they moved out, we couldn't put anybody there. 30,000 square feet office space in there. It's 30,000 square feet out of 110,000 square feet. Is like right there. It's like almost 30% vacancy over there. Not only that, other spaces were vacancy, which is that they proved that less than 70% of occupancy.
Let's have some questions. Let's hear from
Good morning, I'm George Wallace with the Louisiana Tax Commission. I appraised the property at 3600 MacArthur on February 3rd, 2020. It was noted that the last sale of land and improvements was in 2007 for $3,200,000. They had another sale in January of 2011 for $81,000. That was Fidelity back to Fidelity, so I'm really not sure what that one was. But The land value that I came up with based on the comparables was $1,701,000. I did do a cost approach, $3,353,769. And I did an income approach at $3,112,000. And most weight was attributed to the income approach at $3,112,000.
And your information that you used for income and vacancy and expenses?
Right, I used the income statement that was provided. Again, like he stated, it was $628,152. And I'm not sure if y'all have this sheet or not. This is the income and expense statement. And I applied the expenses that were, I removed some of them, that, like mortgage interest didn't use, property tax wasn't used, so those were deducted out of the expenses. And the cap rate was, 0.96, I believe.
So was the
9.6.
Was the 627 the actual rent you collected?
The $628,152 was for rent that he collected for common area, and then, yeah, that was his rental income.
That's what's
On your report, it says $627,567.
Oh,
the total
well,
income.
yeah, that's right. I backed out a $585 repair income that was on the statement, and I moved, and I think that 585 was deducted somewhere else.
So is that total potential income, or is that what you actually collected?
That's actual.
So why would we discount it 30%?
Well, and when I looked at that too, I figured that may be a question. I really considered it more on a collection loss, not the vacancy, because the income is inherent in the actual, in his actual. So the collection loss at 30% might have been a little bit high, but he has a lot of month-to-month leases. So I figured that there was a little bit of risk involved in that, so I did the 30%. But, I mean, vacancy and collection loss generally run together, but I believe just because of the statement that he provided with a lot of these month-to-month leases, that an investor would maybe go in there and say, well, it's a little risky.
Well, if you're using actual income, there doesn't seem to need to be any factor for vacancy.
Right, well, like I just said, I
I mean,
considered it
because I
more
mean, based on the property has
the
some vacancies
collection loss.
now.
I considered more like, as I think I had talked to the owner about, where he was having trouble. Some people weren't paying their rent, or if they would turn it in late, or things like that. So I did the collection loss.
So you think the collection loss is 30%?
I think that may be a little bit high. It may be more around, probably maybe 15.
Do you consistently
That's,
collect around 600,000 a year
Oh,
on
yes,
that
sir.
property?
Yes, sir.
So that's consistent, even
Um,
with slow payers, people that miss, stuff like that?
There's a couple tenants, they are missing the payment, and then sometimes, for instance, there's one unit just came in, and the city is not happy to open the store. So we just waive them, even though they do have a lease contract with us, we don't collect the rent, because they could not open the store. So
Alright.
that kind of the things.
So for 2020, you think you'll collect 600,000 or so?
No, sir, because I sent the information that we got the email from the two of the tenant, which is the Saber Lot, there is an anchor tenant. They are trying to filing a Chapter 11 where bankruptcy, and they are not paying the rent since January 2020. And they were stating that probably they were moving out sometime this summer. And also, Dollar General, they are about 8,000 square feet over there. Their lease is end of March or April, and they are stating that they're negative income, so they asking us reduce to the 50% of their rent starting April or May of 2020. So we're gonna have a very, very hard time this year.
So you may have a case more for next tax year as opposed to 2019.
This email that you submitted, seems to indicate that, Save-A-Lot, which is, I'm sure, considerable tenant, is going to, looks like gonna pay rent through, let's see, it's paying. Tenant will have the right to extend on a month-to-month basis for 4 months thereafter. That the gross rent will be paid, obligations met during that time. And as of June 1st, 2020, the tenant will pay landlord a amount equal to 6 months gross rent. That's kind of a future, I mean, that may be a cause for an appeal 2021, but we can't anticipate, when we look at this, we're not anticipating what may happen in June or July or August, because we don't know. I mean, for all we know, they could come out of bankruptcy or decide that they want to reopen and pay the rent for the rest of, for the whole year.
Yes, sir.
So, what I'm having trouble with is trying to understand on the appraisal by Mr. Wallace, if we know that the total income was $627,000, that's not 100% occupancy though, is that correct?
Right, that's the actual.
That's the actual rent collected.
Right.
That's not the occupancy of the property. Excuse me, that's not the gross potential income of the property. That is the actual income.
Actual.
So it seems to me that applying a vacancy factor to that number, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me that using a vacancy when you use actual numbers for that year in a direct capitalization would seem to be redundant.
Well, yeah, that's,
I mean, if I've got
again,
50% occupancy and I collect $100,000,
Right,
applying a 30% occupancy
right.
deduction on $100,000 wouldn't seem to make a whole lot of
Yeah,
sense.
well, I mean, I just looked at it I realized that the actual income takes into account the vacancy. It's already inherent in that income.
Mhm.
The collection loss, though, with the unstable payments that come in, the month-to-month leases, I don't even know if they have a month-to-month, if that's even a valid lease in some businesses. They may just say pay us month-to-month. I mean, I wasn't sure at that time, but again, maybe the 30% possibly could be a little bit higher, a little bit lower, but maybe 10 to 15, but the rest with the operating expenses that was supplied and all the rest, I feel pretty firm on my analysis.
So,
And the cost approach also supports that.
Chairman Shahar?
Yes.
If I may, that's opposition. If you're using actuals, 2 years, 2018, 2019, it's around $621,000 average. Using a 30%, 32% expense ratio, and then capitalizing that income at 9.6, I get a value of $4.5 million. So I would agree with you that perhaps the vacancy collection should not be applied. And the income, we're using actual income and expense data as supplied by the tax man.
I mean, it does sound to me like this property does have some issues with leasing and that sort of thing that may
Yes.
pull it outside of the norm of which a normal model
Yes.
might end up being. You know, I feel that way. So I feel like at least we need to consider that the taxpayer may be entitled to some additional relief over and above the value that the board review determined.
Yes,
But
sir.
I do, like I said before, we have this issue with what looks like a 30% vacancy in collection loss if you use an actual
Actually,
numbers.
that's our position.
So-
Using actuals, then there's no need to, give consideration for vacancy in collection.
So, just give me 1 second.
Yes, sir. Mr. Dunbar.
What did Ms. Santos, you recited some numbers. Can you tell me what those numbers were again, how you came up with those? Just a few minutes ago, you came up with a $4 million number or figure?
Yes, sir. Using the average actual income of 2018 to 2019.
Which would be the 627,000.
I came up with 621,500, just, quick average. No vacancy in collections, but we're using
So
actual.
621,500,
500.
okay.
And we're using actuals, so there's no discount given for vacancy in collection. We use the 32 or 30% expense ratio.
So you just capitalize the
To
600.
capitalize it at 9.6%, about $4.5 million.
Mr. Wallace, did you go on site
Yes,
at the location?
I went on site. I didn't go inside any of the buildings, but I was on site from the exterior.
What's the traffic? Was it
The traffic.
a traffic right?
It has pretty good, you talking about traffic flow?
Flow, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty well-traveled corridor.
Commissioner West, MacArthur Boulevard is adjacent to General College, as you all know, so, I would agree with Mr. Wallace's opinion that it's a well-traveled commercial corridor.
In the evenings, at night?
Oh, I have no idea about that. I would say in general. In fact, in the evenings, since, I think the anchor tenant is the Save a Lot, the evenings might be higher than it is of, people get off work or shopping.
If I may, nearby there's two supermarkets, which is the Roses and Winnie Dixie's. Very close by, they have more merchandise there, and also Walmart is nearby there also. That's why the Save-A-Lot is having hard time their sales. So that's not really much of the customers there, as he's mentioned to you.
Mr. Santos, if we used actual and gave them a little vacancy of say 10%, just with the status of the property month to month, would you consider that fair?
Yes, sir. I would.
I think if somebody's doing the math now, that maybe end up around $4 million.
I'm gonna use, the ink pen on the bar.
All right.
Again, give us 1 moment.
Yes.
Does anybody have anything else they want to add?
No, sir.
No, sir.
I believe we have a motion, Mr. Waxback.
Yeah, just kind of modifying the approach based on, it seems like there's a consensus of allowing just actual rents, 10% vacancy flowing through
Or the
the,
10% collection loss.
yeah, 10% collection loss, I'm sorry. And using the cap rate for staff appraisal. My motion would be showing the land at $1,701,000, $1,701,000, the improvements at $2,299,000, for an even $4 million.
I'll second.
Commissioner Berger is absent. Commissioner Wagasback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Short.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Come all the way out from California.
Oh, yeah, I'm back and forth. I will be here too, and I will be here too.
Safe drive.
Mr. Waters. Thank you so much.
The remaining items on today's appeal docket, there are 10 items remaining. All of them have either been settled or withdrawn. The Tax Commission hereby accepts all pre-filed documents and oral testimony into the record as Taxpayer Exhibit 1 in Globo, Assessor Exhibit 1 in Globo, and Louisiana Tax Commission Staff Appraiser Exhibit 1 in Globo for each appeal hearing conducted today, respectively.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There being no other matters, I'll need to come before the commission at this time. I will accept the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Berger is absent. Commissioner Wagasback.
Yes.
Commissioner Wood.
Yes.
Commissioner West.
Yes.
And Chairman Short.
Yes.
Yes.